The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and you got markets clawing back some of the losses overnight. We're 40 points above where you were overnight at about 3 a.m. Eastern Time. You have the markets charging higher. We get a little bit of a soft PPI number at 8:30, and we're positive across the board right now. S&P's up by 11 points, 62.95. We were just up to 6,300, up 11 points or 0.2%. NASDAQ 100. Up 12 points right now, barely in the green, 23,070. Get the Dow clawing back some of the losses of yesterday. Quite a sell-off yesterday in the Dow. Today, you're up 143 points, or about 0.3% right now. You got Goldman trading higher in the Dow. And you got the Russell up by 12 points right now, giving back some of that 8:30 volatility. You see the spike up to 2240. We back off a bit, but markets in the green. Bitcoin. So I saw the headlines this morning that they've repaired the damage of whatever happened in Congress yesterday. Bitcoin back up near 119,000 right now, up $2,200. Crude trading a bit lower. We were at 65.64. We're trading right now negative by 50 pennies at 66.02. You jump over to notes and bonds and the dollar. And yeah, quite a day yesterday. You drive down to 110.08. We were nearing 4.5%. We're just off that level right now. We got a little bit of higher price, lower yield. You see the reprieve there at 8:30, and we're talking about 4.46. Still an elevated yield when you look at it on a daily basis. We take a look at yields, and yeah, you're talking about lower price, higher yield coming at you. Slight reprieve today, but look at the volume we got yesterday in that 10-year, man. Fixed income. So much pressure following the CPI numbers. And today we get a little bit of a muted reaction. We'll go over the PPI that we got in a moment. Jump over to the dollar. And yeah, we've got a little bit of a reprieve in yields, but how about the dollar, man? Okay, there's no reprieve whatsoever. You check out the dollar. We accelerate higher on higher yield yesterday, and we're right where we were yesterday at 98,658 this morning. We're going to be talking to our man Teddy Cakestad. Always a good conversation. Talk to him later in the hour at 40 past. And with dollar strength, you jump over to gold. Gold pulls back yesterday from about 33.70 down to 33.30, slightly off that low right now. Gold up by $4. We jump over to the VIX. Yeah, no premium in this market whatsoever. 16.87 as we trade higher yet again. You see the spike we had last night. Futures were trading a little bit lower coming into the close. Quite a little bit of a sell-off into the close as well. But this morning, we have the markets in positive territory. We have the VIX back with the 16 handle, and the market marches on. All right, we jump to some of the headlines following the producer prices. Wholesale inflation measure unchanged in June. How about that one? Yeah. Producer price index was flat. Economists were looking for an increase of about 0.2%, and core PPI was also expected to show a 0.2% increase. Same thing. That's how CNBC puts it. You jump over to Bloomberg for a moment. Their headline, producer prices stagnated on decline in services cost, is where you break that down. And we had an upwardly revised 0.3% gain in May, but unchanged in June is the number that comes in. Wholesale prices 2.3% higher from a year earlier. Excluding food and energy, come in flat as well. That's still up 2.5% from June of last year, but that's the smallest annual advance since late 2023. Now, what's interesting is these are the PPI numbers. The CPI numbers had some oomph into them, okay? As in, there are areas where there is inflation. Talking about furniture, talking about apparel, okay? One of the areas bringing it down, cars. There's certain pockets, right? Trump effect. This is from the Journal this morning. Trump effect starts to show up in the economy. Tariff and immigration policies are boosting inflation and weighing on the jobs. Chairman Powell's reading this one closely because this is the counter argument to cuts coming down the board. when you talk about the price hikes and the inflation that's seen yet. The effect is not enough yet to derail the economy, is how they put it. But yeah, the inflation numbers in June, close to what the market was expecting, okay? But I'm going to pull up some of the quotes later in the hour because there are pockets here. Americans, as of Sunday, faced a 20.6% average effective tariff rate. I mean, that's where, it's either going to come, when we're talking about equities here, right? And that's what we're talking about. It's either going to come in the form of inflation or margins. There's two options. And you have different areas talking about potentially almost a $3,000 hit in yearly household income. Well, what do? One way to not spend $3,000 extra is to pull back some of your spending. Okay, and that's the worry. Hasn't crept in yet, but in certain areas of this economy, it most certainly has. Yeah, so here's cherry picking some of the data from yesterday. Okay, folks? When you talk about CPI, here's some anecdotal bits in there, okay? Overall CPI was up 3.3% as expected. Year over year was 2.7% yesterday, okay? But here's some pockets. If you take out autos, because autos was down dramatically, okay? The price of cars is going down. If you take out autos, core goods prices were up almost 0.6% higher on the month, the most since November 21. Toy prices, 1.8% higher on the month, the biggest gain since April 2021. Food at home, up 0.3% on the month. Energy, up almost a full percentage point. Household furnishings up 1% on the month, the biggest gain since January 2022. So there's some numbers in there. We got yields 10-year at 4.6, 4.46. We'll come right back, folks. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. We continue with bank earnings. Goldman Sachs out with their numbers today. You're up by almost $5. You did spike all the way up to $7.15. That was the high of just yesterday morning. You take a longer-term look at Goldman Sachs, man. You talk about a run. Now, what's remarkable here is, you're talking about from $4.50 to $7.25, man. You're talking about a run. But, on so many equities, and, looking at the Goldman Sachs this morning, there is potential here. For A to B to C to D's that take it to stratospheric levels, you're talking about 826 would be Goldman. Ooh. What was some of the others that was lining up? Yeah, Microsoft. I knew it. Look at these A to B, C to D's, and this breakout recently is a break above those B points. Now, back to Goldman Sachs, but you can see how the break, right? That was a June 23rd break. That was Goldman. You put things back on the daily. You just plow through that B point. You do it with volume. In late June, and now we're just above that area, and we're going to lift higher on their numbers. And yeah, big numbers from Goldman, the banks, they're trading. Profit surge powered by trading, investment banking revenue. And the numbers are almost video game style numbers, man. Profit in 90 days, $3.72 billion. How about that? Yeah. $10.91 a share. Revenue rose 15% to $14.58 billion. Analysts were looking for $13.58. Yeah, Goldman says, how's that for an extra $1 billion on the top line? And check this one out. I was reading this earlier. So trading revenue was helped by the firm's lending to institutional clients. It's always interesting when they refer to as trading revenue. If this is what the bank reported, record revenue in equities financing, okay, which basically is lending to hedge funds. Yeah, seeking to borrow for their own trading. Record revenue in what it calls FICC financing, FIC financing, tied to a range of loans it makes to institutional clients. Investment banking revenue up 26%, driven by advisory fees. Ooh. Big numbers, man. So Goldman's a little bit higher this morning. Close that down. Jump over to Morgan Stanley with their numbers. They're a little bit lower. Earnings call going on right now. Morgan Stanley from about 141 to 140. And JP Morgan with their numbers yesterday. Volatility a little bit to the downside. Today you're catching a little bit of a lift up to almost 288. Check in on Bank of America this morning as well. Barely in the green, up by about 40 pennies to 46.57. You get United after the bell today. United, barely in the green as well. These markets pushing higher. All right, we jump back to NVIDIA. So quite a day for NVIDIA yesterday. It just keeps going. It's all happening, folks, and it's going to happen again today. We're going to open at 171.20. You're going to open in the green. You back things up on a weekly, and this is another one of the A to B, C to Ds, right? Talking about 189. Amazing when this thing was trading at 86, folks. But you're trading at 171 right now. Yeah, you've doubled in price. That's a $100 banger from the lows, man. Whew. So, NVIDIA, they're on a rock tour, baby. They're doing business in China again, and they have a rock star reception. Lavishes praise on China, Beijing. Rock star reception is how it goes. And yeah, spoke a day after. Trump allowed the company to sell those H20 chips yet again, and he's visiting Beijing. I mean, quite a timing of everything, right? And it is all related. As in, you had the Treasury Secretary out there saying that these trading curbs, which were under the direction of national emergency, were just a trading chip when it came to trade agreements. But nonetheless, they were, and they get freed up, and he gets to do a victory tour. And yeah, he said it's going to add billions, man. Yeah, they got no cash in China. Not surprising. He's touting it as the greatest thing ever. But that's one of the ways that they control everything. When you see me in the U.S., you must think you went back in time. You wouldn't even understand my life. Citing ubiquitous smartphone payments in China in comparison to Americans' continued use of cash. You're so advanced in technology adoption. I mean, that's one of the things the government would love for cash notes to no longer exist. All right, Oracle. Yeah, this thing's been on a tear. So Ellison is the number 2 guy, I believe, right now. I saw the headline somewhere. I believe he overtook Zuckerberg. But yeah, Oracle, this thing. You talk about a run. Also a double bagger from the lows. Look at this, right? NVIDIA up 100%. Oracle up 100%. I mean, at some point, folks, this thing's already completed a 1-to-1. If you're looking for a 1.618, 276, not out of the realm. We're up another $2 today at 236 right now. And you're talking about a company that is currently valued at $663 billion. And what's remarkable is, I'll see if I can find it. I was just reading an article as well. Where was it? About Ellison. And his beautiful island in Hawaii. All right, we'll pull that one up. Let's take a look at this thing, though. And look at these B points. That's the thing that's got me saying, maybe this market has legs. Because look at the B points. This thing, you talk about how you blow past a B point, man. Put that in the next, book when we put one together with A to B, C to D, accelerates higher, breaks the B point, does it with volume. It's literally textbook, folks. Now, you did the 1-to-1, but the 1 to 1.618 takes you up to 276. You do it with volume. Volume's waned a bit since then. Oh, man, that is continued acceleration to the upside for Oracle. And yeah, the article talks about that they're no longer the dark horse. They're in there, man. Contract revenue not recognized yet, $138 billion. That's the amount of contracts that they have where they haven't taken in the revenue. Now, you have to take in the revenue, okay? Those contracts can get canceled, of course. But yeah, that's up $40 billion from the same point a year earlier and more than doubled since it was at 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, they had almost $70 billion. But Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, man. So forward price earnings ratios. Look at the Oracle spike there. This is where you want to get your spikes up a bit. Now, the market got decimated. But even prior, when we were at all-time highs coming into the beginning of the year, Oracle was trading at 27 times forward price earnings ratio. You're now trading at 35. Barely above Microsoft. Come back for the opening bell, folks.
As an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We have equities open. You got an S&P opening up 13 points right now, trading at 62.98. And yeah, we're coming right into where we were at the close as of yesterday. So important technical area. You see a little bit of a sell-off. We'll see if this area that was a little bit of resistance, support, 6,300 on the dot. Markets in positive territory. NASDAQ 100 up by 29. We jump around to some of the equities today. Amazon, a little bit of selling on the open, off by 0.4%. Check out Oracle shares, down about 0.1% right now. Apple shares catching a bid. Look at the sell-off Apple had yesterday, up by 0.9% for Apple this morning. Nvidia higher by 0.5 percentage point yet again. Cannot hold that equity down. The chip stocks. AMD slightly flat this morning, and Intel up by 0.7% right now. We check in on Goldman with their numbers. Ooh, okay. Man, imagine that. So Goldman takes in, what did I say, an extra $1 billion? Not sure what they just said, if it was something on the conference call, but it looks like it was just the opening bell. Look at this thing, man. Watch out. Market's got some selling. That's not the Goldman conference call. This is selling, baby. Look at this. All right. S&P's positive by 10. Dow up by 102. Back to a 15-minute chart. 5-minute, 15. Yeah, Home Depot quite a day to the downside yesterday. We check in on some of the Dow equities, UNH. Look at those trades yesterday, man. Huge, huge trades. In retail, all right, they're buying Walmart up by 0.4% right now. Target in the green as well. TJX slightly in the red. Kohl's catching a bid on a small number. Okay, let's talk a little bit of NFL. This one's interesting. So this has to do with guaranteed contracts in the NFL. And it is always remarkable, right, that baseball players got it made, man, right? These baseball contracts, still Barry Bonds. I'm missing the gentleman who's not Barry Bonds Day. Either way. So, second-round players, okay, You had one gentleman that signed a 4-year guaranteed contract, Jaden Higgins. He's a second-round player, and guess what? Now, all the second-round players, they want guaranteed contracts as well. 30 of the 32 players selected in round 2 are unsigned. You only have 2 players who have signed a deal. They've both received fully guaranteed deals. Okay? What's interesting here is that they say that usually what happens is these rookies, when you're in the second round, they'll usually guarantee maybe 3 years of the 4 and maybe partially guarantee portion of the 4th year. And so you're only talking about a couple $100,000, really. But check out the statistics, and it makes sense. The NFL gets away with so much, man, in terms of these young players. Here it is. From 2011 to 2021, so a 10-year period, 87 of the 349, so that's 25%, were cut before their 4th season, before the end of the 4th season. Okay, so 1 out of 4 players aren't going to get that money, and now they all want it to be guaranteed. And so one player signs that deal, and now everybody wants it. I wonder who the agent was that got that deal done, right? And they've always had a battle over the pay. This goes back to 2007, states here, when the Raiders had number 1 overall pick, Jamarcus Russell. They had a problem with him. They didn't sign him until the first week of the regular season. He ended up being a bust. Good for him, fighting for the early money, right? And then in 2011, though, the new collective bargaining introduced a rookie salary scale. It always amazes me when, you have these bargaining agreements and you have the veterans bargaining for the rookies, that the rookies are going to take the pay cut and they'll get everything. And that's where you see how things, the nuance, the details, it's always somewhere in between. But players could still negotiate certain terms, but they couldn't negotiate above the salary scale. Well, now it's going to become about those terms. And there's a chance we might see a baseball strike coming up. But NFL players, especially running backs, man, if you don't follow the league enough, I started playing fantasy football like 10 years ago. And the one thing I noticed even more so when you play fantasy football, folks, is number one, how often people get hurt. You see it when you're watching the game. It is a vicious game, obviously. But when you're playing it in a fantasy league, you just see how people drop off. And it's almost the fate is often determined by who can survive the season with their best players intact, because everybody gets injured. Now, the teams that benefit the most, these rookie running backs, oh, man. And if you get a rookie quarterback on a rookie quarterback contract, because quarterbacks make so much money, probably justifiably, once they make it past that point. But rookie running backs, okay, rookie quarterbacks might get a cheap deal. And this is all the business of finance when you talk about how rookie running backs don't get paid in the end of their contracts, in the end of their careers, I should say, like NFL quarterbacks do. Usually, rookie running backs are done by the time they're 27 or 28. 30-year-old running backs, they're a far cry, folks, in the NFL. So what happens is that you pay them nothing on their rookie years, and then they're really not collecting as most do after that rookie contract. So what always gets me is, in the NFL, if those contracts are not guaranteed, which many are not, okay, let's say you get past, a year or two, maybe you get first-year guaranteed money. Let's say you sign a 4 or 5 year deal. What happens is that it's like an option for the team. Imagine, it literally is like an option for the team to bring it to finance. And so what's crazy here is that the team owners will always say to the players, hey, you made a deal, we got to stick with that deal. But the players are the only ones that have to stick to that deal, because if they underperform that deal, the owners get to cut them. That's it. If they overperform that deal, then you have the NFL owner saying, you made a deal, you got to stick with that deal. And hey, that is the deal. Okay, and guess what? You hold out, there's all that goes into that. But that's why it never makes sense when they pressure these players. Rookie running backs, young running backs, should hold out all day long in the NFL. They get underpaid for their service. They have the shortest spans ever. And now you're seeing it transition to even in the second round of the NFL. Guaranteed contracts. It's got to be tough when you're in the NFL and you see these baseball players getting $200 million, $175, $300 million, $700 million. Ohtani's a beast. He deserves it. He probably deserves more. He really does. Ohtani probably deserves $1 billion for what he's bringing to that franchise, bringing a whole nation over, let alone a whole world audience. But nonetheless, you're going to see it play out in the NFL, man. 30 of 32 players, right? How about that? All right. Yeah, so Hewlett-Packard, they're going through some investor changes. But, folks, we're going to come back. We're going to talk to our man, Teddy Kegstad. We're going to be talking a little bit of Forex, and we got the dollar right now. Where are we? Dollar? Ooh, we're trading higher as we speak. Dollar at 98.81. We're coming back with Teddy, folks. Don't go away.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We have S&Ps up by 10, NASDAQ 100 slightly in the red right now, and you get the dollar catching a little bit of strength. We're nearing that 99, 98.77 right now. And right now, folks, as we do every Wednesday at 40 past the hour, we're going to jump over to our man Teddy Kegstad. You can check out Teddy's outstanding Tiger Forex report, folks. Weekly issues every Monday. Updates throughout the week when warranted. You gain access to a webinar in there as well. It's only $97. You hit that subscribe button. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Check it out, folks. And don't forget about 2 great webinars under the services tab in there as well. Capitalizing on time with calendar stock option spreads and Japanese candlestick pattern stock and option strategies. Teddy's written a book on Japanese candlestick patterns. Check those out, folks. Teddy Kegstad, good morning.
Good morning.
We got a little bit of dollar strength here, Teddy. We're climbing a bit. We got yields on the rise. Some CPI, of course, since the last time we talked. What are you looking at in this market? What do you think?
Well, I like the corrective rally we have going on right now, the dollar strength. We have yields that are creeping higher. We have crude that's creeping lower. And we have the U.S. dollar that had a really nice move yesterday. And, you know, it's definitely reflective in most of the pairs. Some are moving more than others. The yen's made a nice move. For those that get the Tiger Forex report, we've hit our nice little correction bands, you know, whether it's the upside or downside, depending on which currency cross you're looking at. So we're in a nice little area, especially today. We'll see how it reacts. We've had a nice move with the dollar. I think we might see a little bit of profit taking sometime between this afternoon and tomorrow. Into Friday, not much, but I think we'll see a little bit of a retraction on the dollar, and then I think we'll see a little bit more follow-through going into next week. I think this dollar strength is going to continue, not in an exacerbating type of fashion or anything like that, but I do believe that this corrective rally still has a little bit more room to go. I would say maybe for another week or so. We'll see. You know, I mean, I just think that there's no fundamentals right now, I think, that are going to really alter its course, if you will, at least for the next week or so. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but as far as just the normal calendar day-to-day stuff, I think the dollar has a good chance at being in a buy dip scenario and keep on pressing higher for, I would say at least another week and a half to 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks.
Nice. And yeah, it has been quite a bounce. Quite an acceleration lower, though, in the context before that, right? We go from 110 to 96. So, yeah, a bounce of 2 points, maybe a little bit higher, even if you're thinking longer term. I agree with the take. I got a Fibonacci up here, even a 382 retracement, just in terms of what kind of bounce you can get us to of this move we had lower. That's almost pushing 102, which is remarkable. Just the move is so large. It is.
Sure.
We have the 10-year at 4.45. Interesting rise there, interesting, but correlating to some of that action. What do you think about yields as we go forward? Still kind of the same gist, quite a little pop here, but it seems like I'm reading, even this morning they got headlines that Hassett might be the guy for the Fed chair. It's remarkable, right? We're 10 months out, but every single day I'm seeing who the new Fed chair is going to be. But yields have risen a bit. What do you think of the yields right now?
I think they're going to keep on creeping higher. I'm going to stick to my call that until Powell's out, there's not going to be a rate cut.
Okay, there we go. And that'll,
Or he'll shoot the wad in one of the last meetings. Maybe. Maybe because the numbers force him to do so much just to keep his narrative. But right now, no, he's not going to do it. He wants to have. If unemployment was at 8%, he'd be happy. Then maybe we get a quarter point.
All right.
That's what he wants. Remember 2 years ago, he was saying, I want high unemployment, and then I'll cut rates all day long.
Yeah, it's...
He wants people out of work.
Yeah, hey, and inflation is still, I heard him say once, and I think it was on the 60-minute interview, he did that one time, that, and he said something like, I don't even want people to think about inflation. In my brain, I just say, it's funny how everybody still talks about inflation, though, too. And is it here? It's not, but it is to be out of our brain. We're so highly attuned to it. When I saw that, I said, man, when does that exist right now? But hey, prices, we're in a much different spot than when we were. What do you think about crude, man? We got crude trading a little bit lower right now. 65.75.
I like it. I think crude has a little bit more to go. I wouldn't even doubt that you're going to see maybe a little bit of a creeping break, today and into tomorrow. I bet maybe on Friday you see a nice little sell-off that really such a nice little move into next week.
And, you have a couple great webinars. We always talk about them when I bring you on under the services tab. One of them talking about capitalizing on time. The other one, Japanese candlestick pattern. Both of them involve options. And I just wanted to ask you about the VIX. VIX, obviously, premiums in the option market. We got a VIX right now with a 16 handle. How do you look at that part of this market right now, Teddy? Because it's pretty, and hey, listen, all the market's doing is creeping higher right now, so I understand it. But as somebody that's into options, you do a great job on those webinars and just in general in your newsletter. But what do you think about how approaching how the market right now is pricing the volatility with the VIX that is with a 16 handle?
That's a really great question, especially because normally with the VIX where it's at, because I trade options. I love it when the volatility is high. That's usually because I'm a seller. I'm usually trading spreads, so I need to have high volatility because no matter what, I'm trying to kill time and have a drop in volatility. That's what I'm trying to capitalize on 9 out of 10 times.
Yes.
Typically, when the VIX is like this is where, and I have been looking at the pricing and stuff, you get the potential for nice moves that really puts the odds in your favor. What I'm a little bit perplexed about right now is that we do have this high volatility, and I've been looking at multiple stocks and where they're at, and stuff like, you were talking about Goldman earlier. The bank stocks have been doing really well over the past couple of weeks,
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you. You're starting to see some good trends. I mean, obviously, with the market on its highs, something's been trending higher. There's a move. So, but the reality is, it's all stuff like NVIDIA, Microsoft, and all these big names like that. And it's only a few that are really driving on a percentage basis. So those are the ones that have the big move. But when you look at them, the pricing on those options is so obscene. There's no VIG for you to chase.
Okay, right.
You have to be right. I mean, you have to be right to make a minute percentage. That being said, you go back into more the normal chaotic stuff that's priced more, reasonable and proper, if you will. There's the volatility's there. The price, it's basically like almost like a trap. Like you want to put the trade on, you're looking at the price and you're like, this is great, but then you start to look at it and you're like, but how much of a move can I get? Time's going to definitely evaporate. That's for sure. And I'm not saying that the trend is not going to continue. I'm not trying to pick a top or a bottom. This is the kind of thing where I'm looking for the market to continue to move. If it doesn't keep moving in its direction, at least move sharply the other way. That's all I care about, in these kinds of situations.
Sure.
And this is the problem I see right now with that situation. I don't see that other half of the equation manifesting. So it's a tough call with options. I mean, this is the time where I'm jumping on credit spreads, and I've been looking, and I'm not finding anything that's really true value to go after.
That was great, man. Folks.
Which hurts me, man, because this is what I'm looking for.
Spend the time. Check out those webinars. That's why I brought it up today. Great answer, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the education. We'll talk to you next week, man.
Take care, Tommy.
Take care, Teddy. Folks, we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019. finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn. And he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks, and we got a little bit of selling. S&Ps are flat right now, but look at that selling right out of the gate. There's your 930 open. We're above 6,300. We're trading right now slightly in the red. NASDAQ 100, little selling as well. We're coming down to the overnight lows, 22,966. You got the Dow and the Russell barely in the green right now. We jump back to yields. A little bit of higher price, lower yields. 4.45 on the 10-year, and you got the dollar at 98.847. All right, we talk a little bit of poker. So they'll crown a champion today, folks. The World Series of Poker main event, and Mr. Michael Mizrachi, the grinder. Boy, this guy. Nothing like running like God, playing like God in the biggest tournament of the year. And yeah, you got to run well to make it this deep, folks. That's for sure. He only had 1.5 blinds, 2 blinds when there were like 27 people left. Now he's got 445 million chips. And the way he got that was by winning with Ace King versus Pocket Kings of this gentleman, John Wozniak. But nonetheless, you can see he's got more than the lion's share of the chips when there'll be 4 people coming back to play for 10 million up top. And I believe they're already guaranteed 3 million for 4th place. I think it's 4 million for 3rd, 6 million for 2nd, and then there's a $4 million gap between 2nd and 1st. And hey, anything can happen, okay? He's got, what do they got? 110, 120, 140. So he's got 440 million versus 140 million. The problem for these other players is they have huge pay jumps, okay? And imagine, all they got to do, like this Kenny Hallard and Braxton Dunaway, okay? They are dying for the other person to be the one that goes out first, and they'll make an extra $1 million. So he's going to try and whittle them down, and we'll see how it plays out. It plays out today, though. But yeah, that would be legendary, man. He just won the $50,000 Players Championship this year as well. And then Mr. Phil Ivey, he's in the hunt as well. Now, he's got 11 bracelets, but he is in 4th place out of 14, returning for the $25,000 horse tournament. And they're playing for $883,000 up top, 150 players, World Series going on. But yeah, that'll take place today. And it's either going to be a story where he takes it down in style or maybe a blow up. We'll see. S&P's up by 1. Basil's up next. I'll see you at 3 o'clock, folks. Have a great day.